Hey guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's video, I am going to be doing another Foraging Friday. So this particular foraging toy is a foraging wheel. It's a little bit different than the usual foraging wheels because, as you can see, the way that it works is that the rats have to push the inside pieces around in order to get it to move. So usually with the foraging wheels they have to push around the outside, but in this case they actually have to push inside to move all the items around and get to different treats. So this makes it a little bit more difficult simply because it is hanging. So as you can see, they have to try and push it around some. But in general, they seem to be liking it quite a bit. I do find that this foraging wheel seems to be a little bit less sturdy than the larger one I have. I'd say it's about on par with the smaller version of the bar-mounted one that I also have. So it's not terribly unsturdy, but I wouldn't say it's quite as sturdy as the original foraging wheel for birds. So I don't really think this would work for birds, but it does seem to work pretty well for rats because they're not super rough, at least not compared to birds. In general, I think it's a pretty cool foraging toy though, and while I don't think I'm going to use this to replace my original foraging toy, it is kind of a cool option. Now, would I recommend this toy? I don't really think so, simply because, like I said, it's not super sturdy and it's not quite as usable for the rats as the original foraging toy, foraging wheel that is. So I would recommend the original foraging wheel over this one. This one's just kind of a fun novelty one for them to try out. But that being said, it is something that they seem to enjoy, at least for now. So I'm going to be keeping it in the cage probably for a little bit just to see if they end up liking it a little bit more. I've actually had it in the cage a few times now and they do seem to like it. They will empty it out, but they do typically do it after the other foraging toys, so I'm not sure if that means they don't like it as much or if that just means that it's harder for them, but either way they do actually get to the bottom at some point, so it is good to know that they can use it. Anyways, the other issue I have with it is simply that if you put larger items in it, they can get stuck on the bottom like this, and that makes it hard to turn the wheel. You can still turn it. You can see I'm kind of turning it right here, but it's not quite as easy as, you know, you'd want it to be. So I think I'm going to stick to putting lighter treats in it in the future, just because the little spikes don't go out to the end, and that makes it easy for things to get kind of piled at the bottom like you see here. And while they did manage to empty it the last few times, I'm sure that was a lot of effort on their part because it's quite a bit more difficult to move once these things get stuck on the bottom, and I think that's not really a great design, which is another reason I wouldn't recommend it. Anyways, other than that, this toy is pretty easy to wash. I mean, it's just acrylic, so you can wash it out pretty easily and let it air dry. So that's a nice benefit, but most of these acrylic toys have that benefit, so it's not really a huge difference from most other bird toys. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this toy, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review and seeing the rats interact with it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!